Hello and welcome to my home. I'm so excited. I want to tell you about this tomato plant in a glass. Now this tomato plant was one of the ones that I thinned out. I did some thinning out. I did a video on thinning out on another type of vegetable, but this tomato seedling had grown in my pot, and I'll show you that in a little bit, and they're too close together. And yeah, I waited a little bit too long to thin it, but I had to do it because this was growing so closely to another one that I had to sacrifice somebody. So this one got sacrificed, and I put it in a glass of water, and look at all those roots. Yes, this is now a tomato plant that I thought I would have to throw out because when I clipped it, it didn't have any roots because I clipped it at the base of the soil. So I want to let you know you can do this too. If you're thinning your tomato seedlings and they've gotten pretty big like this, you can put it in a glass of water and let it root. And this growth right here is maybe about a week worth of growth of roots there. So now all I have to do is put it in a pot of soil, and it's still too early to plant these outside in my area, although it's supposed to warm up a bit this week. I'm going to put it in, I'm going to call it temporary housing. So I'm going to put it in this little plastic cup. I put some holes in the bottom. Always got to have drainage. I'm going to fill it with just some potting mix. I'm not going to bother to do anything special. Just put the potting mix in here and plant this in there to hold it off probably for another week or two before I'm ready to move and transplant all my tomatoes outside. So when I'm going to plant this tomato, I'm going to basically plant it right where you see my finger stop. And all that long part underneath my fingers is going to be in the ground. So as far as I can get it anyway. So it's probably not going to be all the way where I said, but for now, it's going to be sitting, let me show you better. It's going to be, I'm going to get it pretty deep in there. And this is just a holding temporary container until I can put it outside in this permanent container, which is going to be obviously much bigger. These little tomato plants have all these little tiny, you might not be able to see it, little tiny hairs all up and down the stem. And because of those little tiny hairs, they grow into actual root system for the tomato plant. So that's why when you transplant your tomatoes, you're going to plant them fairly deep anyway. So they have a good strong root system going deep into the. So this is the window they've been growing by, and I have been hardening them off, putting them outside, and I do have a video on hardening off your seedlings that you've grown inside. But this is the pot right here that I got them out that one plant out of. This is the Beefmaster tomato plants. And he was, see the little, I don't know if you could, this is where I got them from. This is where I clipped them from. And it was just too close. I would never be able to separate that well from the root systems without damaging both of them. So I clipped it right there, and now it's rerooted. I'm probably going to end up doing the same maybe with another one that I saw that was growing really close. Probably going to do the same with this one right now. Here are my Better Boys. I started these out in February, and this is how tall they've gotten. I wasn't expecting it to get that tall, but they're ready when the weather warms up. Again, about another week or two, I'll be doing a video on when I'm transplanting my tomato plants outside. Okay, not quite as deep as I wanted, but it is fairly deep. Now when I get it out in the permanent pot outside, I will take it more up to this level. But that'll keep it for the next week or two quite nicely. It's got room to let those roots spread out a little bit. I'm just going to water it in. I think I'm going to use some fresh water. And you water in your plants not only to give them moisture, but it helps reduce And they call it transplant shock, but it helps them get acclimated to their new little home. I just took it out the shot here. Let me give you, let me put it back in the shot, and there it is. All right. If you found that helpful, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Now, I was so excited before I didn't tell you all the things that my channel has. I have tips on container gardening and growing all types of vegetables in your containers. I do videos on easy to cook and prepare recipes, product reviews, and some meditation videos. So consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. Well, that's it for now. Bye bye.